Look, you got my arm.
So
I wanted to. I was going to flip you off.
Yeah. There we go. Now I got you in the shot. You can't avoid it. All right. 100.9 The Cat, number 1 for New Country. It's Kevin and Dana in the morning. Kevin's off, so I'm Pete Kelly filling in, and we've got Smithfield in the studio.
Hey.
Guys. Love these guys. So I'm very excited that you're here. I'm fanning.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you so
I love
much. That means a lot to us.
it. Really, seriously, it does. Thank you.
It's cool.
All right, so let's give everybody a background because you are kind of new.
Yeah. 7 years new.
7 years new. 7 years new.
But don't tell anybody that.
Right.
So Trey Smith, Jennifer Fielder, that's where Smithfield comes from. We've known each other since we were little kids. Grew up together. Our families go back about 3 generations. Grandparents went to high school together. Parents went to high school together. And then Trey and I met when I was 10 years old at our family's New Year's Eve party. And so we grew up singing separately our whole lives, but never together until college. Trey reached out to me on Facebook after his rock band broke up, and we discovered that we had these beautiful harmonies together. And so
that's great.
Chasing dreams for 7 years.
Yep.
Now, are you guys related at all? Because we were talking a little bit earlier that you guys look almost like brother and sister or cousins, that there's any kind of relation in the bloodline.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
That's
are you married? Are you dating?
Yes,
are you
that's what I
brother
was
and
gonna ask
sister?
you
guys.
Yeah.
That's the most
All
common
laundry
one.
list.
Yeah.
Truth is, like, our families just go way back, and we've known each other since we were little kids, and we're kind of best friends.
That's
So.
We're like family.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
in some ways, it's like we're married because we make every decision. We call
That's
it our
true.
duo marriage. We fight, we argue, but at the end of the day, we love each other.
Yeah.
So.
That's
Yes.
really good.
Yes.
So you guys, when you are out and near home, which is Texas, right?
Yes,
Yes.
Texas is our original home. We're based out of Nashville now.
Okay. Is your family still back in Texas?
Yeah.
Do they
mine's-
still live next to each other?
Well, so we moved off to Houston when I was about 13 years old. And so
Okay.
our families all originate in the same little town, but we'd still see each other at like New Year's Eve parties and 4th of July parties and all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff because our families just,
Yeah, they do that.
Hang out,
Yeah,
so.
that's great. That's
Yeah.
really good. So when you are home, do they come out and see you as much as possible, or do they come on the road? All of a sudden they'll pop up here and there?
Well, they always come see us when we get back home to Texas, for sure. And then they've come up to Nashville for like our Grand Ole Opry debut. Both of our families were there. So special stuff
you
like
had to
that.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're proud.
No, of course. You
they
guys
make it when they can, but I actually do have one little quick story. So my dad was coming up to see our show about a month ago, and we're sponsored by Rebecca Creek Whiskey for our single Hey Whiskey. And we
Good
wanted to bring some
sponsor.
whiskey.
Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah,
appropriate.
it seemed like a great partnership at the time. And they're based out of San Antonio, but they were trying to figure out how to get a bunch of product up to us. And so I called my dad, and I was like, hey, man, how's it going? Good. And I was like, you want to come see our show next week? Like, yeah. I was like, oh, by the way, if they dropped off about 500 pounds of whiskey, would you mind loading in the back of your truck and bringing it up to Nashville? And so troopers, my parents did it, loaded up their truck,
that's
drove up to
great.
Nashville, and came to the show and brought us booze.
Whiskey. That's the
I don't know
best
if everyone can
present
say that
ever.
about their parents.
That's
but-
pretty amazing.
We were like, is this legal?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, I don't know. We should check on a few things
Smuggling
before we do
whiskey.
this.
State laws here, I don't really know how
Yeah.
it works.
I don't know.
Yeah. You guys are on several magazines for 2018 to watch. They are, and I see those and I do read them. And I think a lot of people do too. Do you guys look at that at all?
Oh, yeah. Especially in the down moments, too, because there's a lot of ups and downs in
Yeah.
our business. As you know, we've been through a lot. So it's cool to go back and read, articles like that some of our heroes have been featured in and people that we look up to have been featured in, and to read that we were in there. It's encouraging.
Yeah.
It means a lot. I mean, we worked for that. And so it's really cool to be recognized even at this level. you
Yeah.
know? So
That's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not usually sometimes it's just like one, but you guys are on. I believe there's 3 different magazines and publications that said you guys are one to watch for 2018. That's
Knock on
great.
wood.
No pressure.
No
Yeah.
pressure at all.
No,
Yeah.
but you know what? It's good because now and then you're on tour with Granger Smith.
yes.
So how has that been?
Man, those guys are so awesome. I mean, they are from Texas, so I'm not
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, seriously, they're like the very first night we pulled up, we were unloading, and Granger came out and was like, hey, man, I'm Granger. Nice to meet you guys. I'm glad you're here. Like, just let me know if you need anything.
That's
And,
cool.
like, you don't always get that
No,
from headliners. And so it just really meant a lot to us for him to reach out that way and just be that cool. So.
Yeah.
Now, has he appeared as Earl at any time?
Oh, every show.
Oh, yeah.
Earl comes out in the encore at the end.
Okay. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, the first time for that, was that kind of a shocker, or you kind of expected it? You were thinking, okay, we know he does both of those, so
Yeah.
all right, we're waiting.
We had seen a little bit of it before we did the tour with him, so we slightly expected it, but we hadn't experienced it fully yet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Now, how much of a difference is there between regular Granger Smith and Earl Dibbles Jr.? Is there is it an immediate switch, or is it gradual between the two?
I think there's like a Jekyll and Hyde thing that goes on, man. Like when he goes back and then he walks back out as Earl, it's like a straight up transformation. It's kind of crazy.
Oh,
I don't know. Granger Smith might actually be a dual personality. I don't know.
Maybe.
and he does it so well.
Yeah, he does
he's
it
so
well.
good at it. Yeah, he's so sweet off stage and just, and then Earl's like this whole other alter ego that's like redneck and, totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you guys are writing music, and I know you've got the rock side of you, you're more of a classical? Is it
Traditional?
Traditional,
Yeah,
okay.
traditional country. I mean, I grew up on 90s country, so.
Okay. So do you guys, I mean, it goes well. I mean, your songs sound perfect, but is there any time like you're doing, you guys are working on some stuff, and then all of a sudden the real rock side comes out on him, and you go, all right, ease up. Or maybe she's a little too tame, a little, and you're just like, all right, come on, let's.
You know, it is about like finding the blend between what we do because, yeah, definitely sometimes we'll go in and she'll be like, whoa, dial it back, Boston. Like,
Yeah.
But then I'm just like, okay, now we need something with more than just steel guitar going on constantly. Like, let's rock it up a little bit. So it's a balance, really.
Yeah.
Every time we get in the writer's room, it's just finding the balance between what we each naturally do. So.
Yeah.
That's really good. Now, will you do when you guys are writing, you start out with an idea and then kind of like filling in the blanks together? Is that usually how it works, or one has complete, or it happens both ways?
Yeah, both ways. Trey and I both always try to have titles in our phones or ideas going into the co-write. They're not always good, but at least we have something to kind of get a start. And Trey, will play, come up with some melodies on the guitar as well going into it. But sometimes we go in with our co-writers and they don't like any of the ideas or they don't have any, and we just start having conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, an idea comes out of our conversation of what we did the night before or last weekend, or so that's kind of cool. It's always different every time we step in the writer's room, but we try to always have something.
So we've found out that you're kind of people asking you all the time if you're related, if you date, married, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do have opportunities to date, I don't know, are you guys with another significant other?
So it's so weird. We're like, we'll date, but neither one of us have a significant committed other, I guess.
Do you give him your opinion about the date that he has?
Oh, for sure. I've met a couple of them.
Trey, do you do that to her?
Probably a little too much sometimes.
Yeah, he's like a big brother. Like,
yeah.
I don't know about that.
Oh my God.
Okay, Dad.
Comes from a good place.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. All right, so we're gonna do fire questions real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
Ooh.
so choose beer, whiskey, wine.
Wine.
Whiskey.
Nice. I should have said whiskey. Dang it. Whiskey endorsement.
Rebecca Creek whiskey.
My bad.
Brownies, cookies, or cake?
Ooh, cookies.
Oh! All right, we're going to do beef, chicken, or turkey?
Beef.
Chicken.
All
Oh,
right.
you're from Texas and you said chicken.
But I like chicken.
Okay.
All right, one more. Cat or dog?
Dog.
All right. Oh, that's great.
Perfect.
I wish you guys best, the most success ever. I think you guys sound so great together.
Thank you.
Yeah. So besides Granger, any plans? I know you're on the road with him for a little bit, and then after that, plans?
Yeah, we're going to be touring all over the country this summer. A lot of festivals going on, and got a new project that we're working on that's hopefully going to be released in the early fall time.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
That's awesome.
Great. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate you coming in.
Thanks
That's
for
perfect.
having
Thank you
us.
so much. It's 100.9 The Cat.